My name's Christine Lidekin and I work for Hospice of Southern Illinois. We're a small, local, not-for-profit hospice. We're very community-oriented and mission-driven, much like most of you. With that said, I want to help you create videos that are professional without breaking the bank. Let's talk about what you need to create your video and get it started. What you need first is a recording device. Today, I'm using my phone. I think that's the most accessible piece of equipment that we all have, and that is a great way to get things started. Additionally, phones these days have amazing recording advantages and very good quality, which leads me to my next point, light. Make sure you're in a well-lit room. Natural light is always the best and helps with the quality of the video that you're going to be recording. Another option is creating artificial light. With artificial light, there's lots of options that range all the way from $10 and they can go into the hundreds. I recommend cell phone case that actually has a light built into it, which is very cool, and you can adjust the setting for how deep you want it to be. And then another option is another light that clips right onto your phone if you don't want to do the case, because the case is a little more expensive. And then you also have the external lights such as this one, where it has the toggle where you can decide how bright or how dark that you want the video to be. After you get your lighting set up and your recording device ready to go, you need something to put it on. You can get small tripods as low as $10 again on Amazon. Those are the three biggest assets that you need in order to get your video started. So, how to shoot? Well, when you're working on your phone, it's as simple as pressing the red button and setting record. The next thing you need to think about is what's the goal for your video and who's your audience? Go ahead and write this down. Having a script or an outline can help make your video streamlined and get to the point while keeping it short so that your audience stays tuned in and listens to your whole message. Next, you have production. Now, this is something you probably want to think before you're actually starting to record, but production is a very important part. Are you going to do a steady video like this where I'm just sending a message and I'm sitting stationary most of the time? What do you want your background to be? I personally today have a backdrop that just pulls right up. It's nice and sturdy, so it's a high quality backdrop to make sure my video looks nice and professional and keeps the branding intact by having our logos behind us. You can use things as simple as having a colored backdrop behind you. I recommend sometimes using a sheet if you're on a really low budget. Just make sure that backdrop is further away from you if you're going to be using something that has wrinkles or texture to it. But for something that's really smooth, it can be as close to it as possible. And those are all things to think about in part of your production process. Doing a video of this nature, sitting still and not moving with a simple backdrop and a stationary light and a stationary camera, is probably the most easy, effective, and efficient way to get your message across. After we have our video recorded, what do we do next? There's a couple different options for you for editing. You can download your footage right from your phone straight to your computer, and you can do your editing on a desktop. The three methods that I would like to point out to you are editing with Google Photos app. The Google Photos app is a great alternative, and it's actually used for photos, but it makes great animations and videos, so it's a really great option and it keeps things very simple. So if this is your first try, I highly recommend that app to play around with. The good thing about Google Photos app is you can put clips together, you can cut them, you can put them in the specific order that you want, you can even add music, which is a great addition to making your video stand out from others. Another video app that you can use is iMovie. Now, this is only for my iPhone users, so it does come standard, it's not an additional purchase, and it does a really great job of keeping things simple, concise, and to the point. And finally, if you have a little bit of a budget that you'd like to work with, Adobe Spark Post and Adobe Videos are two really awesome apps to help ensure that your brand stays intact and gives you a couple additional options. It's got templates and the ability to put logo overlays, so it really helps you step up your game, but there is a cost involved with that. So the tighter your budget, stick with the other two apps that I mentioned. If you've got a little bit more of a budget, I really encourage you to step outside your comfort zone and do Adobe Spark Post videos. Now I just want to touch on the appropriate approvals. After you've recorded your video, make sure the appropriate people need to see and review your video. Make sure that those people have signed authorizations. This is a general concern, especially in the nonprofit world. If you're providing a service, and especially in healthcare, you need to consider things like HIPAA and protected health information. Now let's talk about a few tips and tricks to ensure your video comes out just the way you want it, professional and on a budget. You can decide, again, which equipment that you'd like to use. The higher end your equipment, usually the better quality that you're going to get. However, my lighting trick is the number one thing to take that video to the next level in terms of quality. If you have a dark video, it's going to be a little grainy. If you have light, everything's going to look well lit and high quality. Another tip that I had mentioned along the way is making sure that your video camera is high enough. You want to make sure that you get that nice quality angle. You don't want to be too high so that you're looking up or looking down from this angle. And always make sure that your video camera is steady on a tripod. You don't want to have somebody holding the phone for you because the shakes and shimmers will come through on the video footage. Make sure you're being authentic. You want to make sure that you're representing your organization and your brand to the best of your abilities, and people are going to be able to see that. And make sure you're yourself and have fun. If you mess up, the great thing about video is there is editing software to help you out. The last and final tip and trick that I have for you is making sure that you make your video for no sound. Definitely use subtitles or text to the right or to the left. What this is going to do is give your audience the opportunity to understand what you're saying if they're maybe scrolling through the post and they're not able to listen to sound. Having those subtitles also makes sure you have that clear, consistent message and branding, which is very important when you're creating your video. Other considerations and upgrades for your video can include your editing software, your lighting that you use, your actual video camera, the tripods that you have, and lastly is music. Music needs to be properly licensed when you're using a video. Some of the apps that I mentioned have appropriately licensed music for you, but you have to make sure that they're appropriate and allowed to be used in a nonprofit or for-profit setting. But remember, you shouldn't use iTunes because that's for personal use. If you're going to be using music, just make sure you license it properly so that you're not breaking any laws or have anything to worry about. And if you're really not sure, skip the music and just do the video. It is a nice. Finally, the last thing you need to think about is getting it out there. Some of these apps are really innovative and allow you to download the information right to your phone so that you can upload it straight to your social media sites. Otherwise, you can email it to yourself, which can be a great addition to your website, or if you need to send it to anybody. For example, in the CFC campaign. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see your videos with your branded message and hear about all the amazing things that your organizations do.